Hello, hello. Hey, I'm not animating Manny this time. Bet you're happy about that. But I was actually very close to actually animating Manny again in this episode. But I was like about to start recording myself one day, and it was Manny, and I was like, wait a second. Let's not do that again. So right now you're seeing me paint a picture of Angie. You'll see in the guidelines that there are wings, but actually I go and not draw those wings, so just, pretend they're not there basically, because I'm not going to draw them. Not in this episode anyway. Mainly because I was kind of running short on time. I keep happening to run short on time every week, again and again, and I think it's because I need to start stocking up on recordings, but like, a lot of the things I've been making lately, it's like, I shouldn't record this, either because I've been recording things like it too much, or because it's kind of spoilery, you know? Either way, here's a drawing of Angie. I think it turned out rather nice, though of course, watching the painting go forward, it's always hard to tell because things will look kind of funny if they're not finished, so, yep. So I actually get asked a lot how to do this painterly style thing, I guess you would call it. Basically just lineless work. I get asked a lot how I do it, and it's kind of like, I understand the fears of doing this style. It's like, it feels very daunting. It feels like if you try it, it might not turn out the way you want it. But really, I think I've been drawing this way for maybe 2 years? So, like, yeah, I definitely understand. I just, I didn't start going lineless until then, so, yeah. I remember my thoughts when I didn't do lineless work. It was more along the lines of, I'm afraid of how this will turn out if I try to do it this way. Like, will this be a big waste of time? Or something like that. And really, now that I've been doing this style of art for so long, or at least it feels like so long, I've learned that you have to kind of try not to be afraid. You have to kind of just do it. Like, you're not gonna get anywhere if you don't practice, so... But yeah, as you can see in this episode, and I think a few episodes ago where I did the same sort of style, I basically just use my guidelines and paint over them and kind of like refer back to them when I want to draw things that are like appear on the design. Like, for example, the face. I'll lower the opacity on the colors of the whole skull, I guess, and then line everything up and then paint over. It takes a lot of checking, I guess. You'll be able to see in this video that I often flicker through layers because I'm like, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? And funnily, you'll notice that a lot of things, a lot of the time, will seem rather ugly until they're done, which kind of just goes with the style, I guess, because, like, especially with the eyes, you can really tell, at least when I watch it, it's like, ew, these eyes look really gross until they're, like, done. So, yeah. I guess don't be afraid when you're working on your own pictures and it's looking really weird and gross in your opinion, because I think if you practice over time, you'll learn that that's just kind of part of how drawing in this style works. This just came to mind. I was trying to think of what else to talk about, and then I remembered. I think in the last Draw and Talk episode, I talked to you guys about how I made a bunch of Magical Girl School gift sets and scheduled them to post on Tumblr, and they're almost done now, actually. Like, all the characters are almost posted now. If you check the Magical Girl School blog in the description, you'll find them. But what I wanted to talk about was, I was checking the notes for, I think it was the Kiki gift set. I wanted to see who was reblogging and, you know, all the notes and stuff. And I managed to come across someone who reblogged and in the tags said, I don't know what this is, but I want to watch it. And I just sat there, I was like, huh, that's really interesting to read. Just like, it's weird. Like, I know people are like starting to watch the series over time, you know? Like, just the other day I got someone commenting on, like, episode 2 or 3 saying it was cool or something. So I'm aware people are starting it and everything, but it's just, it's weird just to read someone be like, I'm considering watching this thing because this gift set has made me interested. I don't know, it just, it felt special, you know? Speaking of special things, do you ever just kind of draw or animate something and you just sit back and look at it and you're like, wow, I love drawing, and I love creating. Like, oh my gosh, this week I was working a lot on videos, and in between working on the videos, I would draw in my sketchbook. So I have a lot of recent drawings in my sketchbook, and I look through them and I'm like, I love this sketch! It's so good! But at the same time, I don't want to post it because it's kind of embarrassing. I feel like a lot of you might understand, just like, oh, I really like this picture, but it's kind of like, oh, I don't want to show anybody, but I'm really proud of it. Because I've definitely been feeling that way about my sketches and drawings and all that lately. I'm like, ugh, why can't I just not be embarrassed? Why can't I just be like, hey guys, I like this show, and if you think I'm weird, then whatever. You know, like, why can't I just do that? I have such trouble with being embarrassed, and hello, somebody just notified me on my phone while I'm recording, thanks a lot! It was just an email from Amazon. Lame. But anyway, as I was saying, like, I wish I wasn't so embarrassed about my interests, you know? Because I have a lot of interests, and if I find them embarrassing, then I'll just make a new account and post them there. And I have like a million accounts on Tumblr. I have a million blogs on Tumblr where it's just like, I like this thing and I'm embarrassed about it, so I'm gonna post it here so my friends don't see. So it's a real struggle, and I'm sure a lot of you understand it. And I know y'all are gonna say like, oh, don't worry about what people think. Just post it, it's fine. But like, I'm sorry, but I'm so shy about my interests. I really am. Like, I mean, a lot of you guys know I love Naruto and I love TMNT and I love all that and blah blah blah, but the difference is I don't really draw them that much. I love Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. Like, a lot of you know, I get pretty obsessive over things. It's just, there's something about certain shows where I'm just, like, kind of, too embarrassed to talk about. Like, with TMNT, I feel like a lot of people kind of get it, you know? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, yeah, I can see why Shribbit likes TMNT, because it's, like, action-oriented and cool and ninja and all that stuff. Oh, that reminds me. I recently got this kind of useless TMNT merch. For those who don't know, I'm like a collector of TMNT merch, like unintentionally. I just keep kind of accumulating TMNT things. Like, oh, you know what's funny? Okay, so like I like TMNT and everything. And so I had, you know, the general merchandise that I would buy for myself. But I think I've become that person where, like, if someone sees TMNT at the store, they buy it for me. So, like, my sister bought me a TMNT hat. My other sister bought a TMNT wash rag, technically for me, but not technically. Like, she and my mom went and bought it. I think they were, like, they thought of me and bought it, but I don't think it was, like, intentionally for me. But I ended up being like, can I have it anyway? So now it's just sitting in my room. It's just a washcloth. I don't know why I was like, I must have it, but, you know, and then, my best friend bought me a TMNT, like, blanket, and, then I have TMNT stickers and shirts and journals that have TMNT on them. Like, I have so much crap, and pop figures. Like, I don't so you guys know, at least with that show, people are aware that I love it, and so they end up getting me things for it pretty often. But the point was, sorry, I got really off track there. The point was, there are some things where I'm fine with being open about liking, but there are other things where I'm embarrassed about being open about liking. Like, oh gosh, I'm a big fan of Gijinka. I'm sure a lot of you know that means humanization. Like, I'm a big fan of taking, like, shows where the characters are, like, not humans, or, like, movies where the characters aren't humans. I'm a big fan of taking those designs and making them into humans, because, I don't know, I find humans easier to look at, slash draw. So I'm a big fan of that, so I, myself, do it quite often. But the problem is, I don't want anyone to recognize the fact that the characters originally were from some lame cartoon, you know? Like, and when I say lame cartoon, like, I'm a big fan of cartoons. Cartoons are great. I'm just saying lame cartoon because the interests that I have are pretty lame. Like, really, I don't even want to say what they are because it's really embarrassing. It's just, they're not cool shows. We'll say that. They're not cool shows. Not widely accepted to be like, hey, it's okay for you to be super into this, like TMNT is, I believe. Though, now that I think of it, maybe a lot of people do think I'm weird, and I just haven't realized it for, you know, liking TMNT. Oh well. Either way, I know it should be fine, and I should be strong and like, hey, I like these things and I'm going to draw them. I should be strong and try to post those things, but like, I'm just so fearful. I really am. I shouldn't be, but I am. And I'm sure, or at least I hope, a lot of you understand. Gosh, this video coming to a close, and I didn't even, talk about that much. I guess I just started talking about TMNT and went off on a tangent, and goodness gracious. But yeah, I hope you like this drawing. It was fun to do. I can't say that it's actually finished. Again, I was kind of short on time, but maybe I'll draw more of the picture in the future. And I guess I just hope you're satisfied with how it looks so far. Tell me how your day's going, how your week is going. What do you plan to do in the coming weeks? Do you have any big plans? I know October's coming up, and I know a lot of people like October. I personally don't. I mean, it's fine, but I never really liked Halloween, and it's whatever. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Goodbye!